This is a public service announcement brought to you in part by the Prince of Botch himself. What's going on? The following show is called Life's a Botch. But I dedicate this to you, the one listening. No, not the wrestling fan. I'm talking about you, the non-fan. Yeah, you, the casual watcher. Maybe you know somebody or you know of somebody. Maybe you know a name or two, but you don't really watch wrestling. If you're the type of person that doesn't keep up with it, doesn't follow it, don't care for it, probably call it the F word, fake. Oh, yeah, that one. Or maybe you're the type that calls it theatrical, live theater. Or maybe you're the type that calls it just a nice rehearsal of tanglements of sorts. Well, the following show is dedicated to you. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, because you are about to go to school. Hey, start the show up, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Hey, it's your boy, the Prince of Botch, your one true favorite mediator. You already know, your boy Dwayne, and we got a really dope packed show for you on today, man. Hey, y'all already know, first and foremost, appreciate y'all always rocking with your boy on the Life's a Botch podcast, where it ain't just about how you mess up, what you mess up in life. Man, it's taking what you messed up with and being able to go forth with it. You know what I mean? That's why Life's a Botch, baby. We do that all the time. So look, dog, hey, real talk, we got a real special lineup right here before you. I'm talking about like Black wrestling royalty right now, real talking slick. Like literally, first and foremost, just I want you to pay attention to the fact that we all coordinated for the special occasion. This is my Black History series right now, where all things is about Black wrestling, Black culture, Black people in the wrestling business. You know what it is, man. So I gotta introduce these real special people. First and foremost, these are guys and girls that pretty much inspired your boy to get into this business right now, you know what I mean, this podcasting world media field. Shout out to everybody in Black media wrestling, but these guys and girl right here, let me tell you, man, so these guys, they've been doing it for a minute, man. I believe just celebrating 200 episodes, you know what I'm saying? 200. And with that being said, your boy is here to put them over because it's about them tonight, you know what I mean? So allow me to introduce, I want to try to do this like individually as a group, man. I mean, they really a group because, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, you know what? Let's just do this as the group, and then we'll just go one by one and let them introduce themselves to y'all because I'm the man of the intro. So the best way to put this over is, at the end of the day, man, you guys have seen them pretty much do a little bit of everything, man. They jack of all trades. You know what I'm saying? You don't just see them in the podcast industry. You see them out here in the wrestling business. I'm talking about the only crew I know to do wrestling watch parties, because the rest of these crews ain't doing it. And if they are doing it, they probably got it straight from my crew right here. And on top of that, not only that, man, we talking about Jobbers Slam, the creators right here, giving it to you straight. Jobber Slam 2 well on the way, if I do say so myself. So without further ado, allow me to introduce y'all to the greatest, most phenomenal A1 from day one crew. Nonetheless, I'm talking about none other than the team with my favorite name in the world. I'm talking about the Jobber Tears. What's happening, guys?
What's up?
I feel like we need that on a sound. We need that on like a sound bite. That was really.
Yeah, that was good.
Hey, look, I'm here whenever y'all need me, man. Look, I'm talking about, I do this, bro. Like wrestlers be hitting me. I'd have wrestlers like y'all on the show, man. They'd be like, bruh, I need y'all to bring, I need you to bring me to the ring with an intro like that. I'm like, hey, when you ready, Holla at, I be trying to tell these promoters out here, dog. Like, hey, y'all sleeping on your boy. Bring him, bring him. I got you. Get the energy and all, bro. Let's do this. Hey, introduce yourselves to the people real quick, man. You know, ladies
Janelle?
first. You know how we do.
Janelle, like introduce us, please.
What? We record tomorrow. That is my job tomorrow.
Ooh,
but for those that are watching and listening, I can't follow up that intro. But as always, I'm Janelle from the HR of the Java Tears podcast, along with Sir Wilkins and Mr. Black. And once again, the three of us compose the Java Tears podcast. So thank you so much for having us on your show during, Black History Month, because that's what we about that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But no, we want to thank you, and we're honored. Like, don't think like just because we've been in it for some time, like we're still very humble and appreciate all the love and support people have given us over the years too. So thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Hey, no, thank you guys for joining me, man. This is a first time. Certainly won't be the last, man, because you guys are somebody I've been wanting to reach out to and bring on the show for some time now. And no better time than now, man. I was just like, you know what? It's Black History Month. I want to not just talk to wrestlers. I want to talk to my Black media personalities out there, everybody, man, because Black culture is really winning in pro wrestling right now, man, and they still got so much more to do. And I just wanted to bring y'all, this was fitting because as a person who's also listened to you guys, I know how passionate you guys are about Black wrestlers specifically as well, man. I hear the passion all the time, and I was just like, man, let's bring them on this platform and let's go ahead and dig into and pick their brains a little bit. So let's just get right into it. Before I do that, I'm gonna do a quick little segment for y'all that I call "Put Me Over." You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let the sound bite play, and we're just gonna do this thing. So y'all ready? Let's go ahead and do this, man. Let's do this.
Okay. You know what? For once, I'm gonna stop talking and chopping about myself, okay? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna blab about you. I'm gonna blab and I'm gonna put my guy over, okay? Hey, yo, put me over.
Put me over, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we put over the guests of the evening. And so what I want to do real quick is I want to talk to you guys. And to those out there, I mean, I don't know why they personally wouldn't already know who you guys are. Because, I mean, you guys have, done this a lot longer than I have. And y'all just pretty much all over the scene. But tell anybody that doesn't already know who you guys are, who are the Jobber Tears?
Mr. Black.
Go ahead, Janelle.
I'm not going first. We're not doing this.
Ladies,
all the time.
Because Janelle, this is the format. You lead and
fill in the blanks, and it's like,
exactly.
I jump in.
No, this
How they
is
just
your
always
job.
go in the deep end.
Thank you, Janelle.
Come on.
Thank you, Janelle.
Thank you, Janelle.
Ungrateful, you ungrateful hoes. So as we said, we are the Java Tears podcast. We've been doing it almost 4 years now.
Woo, let's go.
So once again, we kind of started off, Sir Wilkins is doing the viewing parties here in New York. We're a New York City based podcast. But we definitely have, places and markets, like we've hit the South, a little bit of the Mid-Atlantic. The goal this year is to definitely go out West, but we've done a pretty good job here in the Northeast, tri-state area here in New York, supporting independent wrestling, supporting those we know on the independent scene. But our weekly podcast, we basically talk shit in the most best way possible. And they're actual brothers, so they fist and fight all the time, and I'm always the referee. Soon I should have a referee shirt by now. Now that I think about it.
There you go. I agree with that. Got to get her the ref shirt.
Thank you. Even though I don't be wanting to be the ref all the time, but no, just the three of us really honestly having fun. We all have a love for wrestling. We all have a passion for getting people the recognition that they deserve, whether it's on a professional level or on an independent level. Like, we've realized, like, there's just a lot of us not being represented in the industry. So, to hear like you being inspired and, other people, have said that to us previously, it just makes us more hungry and makes us want to do more for the community, whether it's in wrestling or not. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go because I don't know what else to say.
No, she said everything pretty much. Thank you, Janelle, for putting us over.
Thank you. Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Janelle.
I love it.
You're welcome.
Like,
My humble young kings over there, man. You gotta love these brothers, man. Seriously, love the vibes, the black vibes you guys always giving off to the people. The best of both worlds. I've heard Mr. Black and our Chop Up Seth say, he represents the streets. My boy Sir Wilkins representing the folks in the fit world, the wrestling world. You know what I mean? Like that's just so dope how y'all like, everybody has their own niche and everybody has their own thing. Y'all form this chemistry. And natural chemistry is the best. And I really respect that about you guys and how that just all flows so naturally. So, just had to have a moment to put you guys over and really just acknowledge you guys and out of respect, acknowledge you, like real talk, because man, y'all doing it and we appreciate it. You know what I mean? So
I mean, it's all about just like putting together talent. You understand? And we all have egos, but at some point throughout this ride, that ego had to kill in the room just to go forward with just being us as people. We had to learn. We wasn't perfect. Like we had our other issues. We had to do a lot of mental stuff, but now we became one. It takes a while. Like people don't understand. Forming a team does not happen overnight. It takes a lot of time. Just like with the Bible, with the olive tree, you gotta have deep roots. And for things to work, your roots gotta go way deeper. So when the storm comes, all of that, you get through that. Such as I would reference the whole part with Noah, when with the whole great flood, he sent the dove out. The dove came out with an olive branch, because the olive tree could withstand anything. So when you build a team, you gotta have the strong roots, because that can withstand everything. And if it's not meant to happen, God's gonna come through directly, because He knows that I know y'all, I know how y'all are. Y'all gonna get deep roots, but I can't let this rooted because it's not part of the game plan. So we just learn how to just coexist and better our relationship. It's like if we all in basketball, if I throw the ball, I know that Janelle's gonna make that shot. If I alley-oop it without looking, my brother's gonna catch it. You understand?
Love it.
It's just called blind trust. You just have to have it. That's it. Man. You trust the connection with each other. That's why.
Come on. I love it, man. That's what I love to hear. Sir Wilkins, sir, did you have anything to add to that before we get into our main set of topics and everything? Do you want to capitalize on anything your brother said?
It's kind of like VR troopers.
Not the VR.
Yeah. So we're a team.
Love it. Yeah.
Niggas.
Yeah. Look, my boy said that so cool, so smooth, man. Like he just like, yeah. Hey, shout out to Sir Wilkins, y'all. If y'all don't already know, man, make sure y'all following the Java Tears podcast. My boy always giving y'all coffee talk, real talk. And I love those segments, by the way, brother, because you always giving the truth. Like one time while I was on my hiatus from social media, we're gonna get into that. When I was on my hiatus from social media last month, my homeboy Gresh, shout out to my boy Gresh, he literally sent me one of your coffee talks. And this was on the situation that happened between Tony Khan and Big Swole. Now, I did not know, I was not aware of what was going on, because literally like a week before, I cut myself away from the world for a while just to kind of reset. It was like a spiritual journey for me, man. I just wanted to like really get back in tune with God on some things and like just kind of refresh a little bit. So yeah, it was just a decision, like a personal decision, just kind of like get a head start. Normally I do it at the top of the year anyway, but like I wanted to get a jump start. So like that last week of December, I was like, all right, holiday season's over. I'm good. I'll go into the new year just kind of like chilling. And man, I had no clue until my boy just sent me that message and was like, I'm like, what's this? I'm like, what's going on? And I told him, I said, Like, man, I can't even get on Twitter right now, but I see it, and I know my boy Sir Wilkins, whatever it was, he told the truth. So he screen recorded and was like, "I got you, bro. Watch this." And I watched what you had to say, and I was like, "Hold up, you made me go on YouTube and be like, wait a minute now, what just happened here? What did I miss?" And man, talk about some straight up truth, where it was like, "Oh,
What do you think about it?
man, honestly, okay, if I'm keeping it 100, I love AEW. I really do, but like, I'm not one of those AEW marks, right? Like, I like what they're trying to do, and I feel like they're catering a little bit too much to a little bit of everybody, giving you the hardcore wrestling for the hardcore fan, but then trying to give you the indie style while also trying to give you, a little bit of what WWE's doing in a way, but also kind of saying they're not gonna do what WWE's doing, but it's coming off that way. You know what I mean? Like, because every time you turn around, I mean, we cat's out of the bag, y'all. We just saw it. Keith Lee is now in AEW, so it's like, hey, it's a great thing to see. Now, what worries me is after what Big Swole said, the question is, given how many people they have on this roster already, is he gonna get lost in the shuffle? Or are they gonna push him to the
Listen.
Come on now, what we gonna see?
Listen, Derek, Janelle, Mr. Black.
Come on.
Tony has no choice but to push him into the main event scene. If Keith Lee is not in the main event scene in 2 months, throw the whole shit away.
Yeah. Hot take, Sir Wilkins. Let's go. What?
No, real talk.
Let's think about it. He fits exactly what Tony wants.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, he's exactly the independent darling that AEW fucking like thirsts for.
Yeah.
Okay.
So why would he not be in the main event scene? And I'm saying this right now. If in 2 months you're not in the main event scene, throw the whole shit away.
It just has to, for me, it has to make sense. Like, that's like, I think that's always the concern. I try to give it the Mr. Black approach and give it some time, but then it's just like, realistically, if y'all don't have a game plan for him with him coming through the door the way that he did, it's not going to make sense, because you have now you're talent heavy. Now you got the guys that have been with the company from day one now at the bottom of the barrel and not knowing what's left and what's right.
And their contracts are slowly being expired.
Come on.
So I guess they said Jay White was on Dynamite. That just popped up on my thing.
Yeah, he was on Dynamite too, but I think it's more of a partnership thing.
Yeah, like I'm not too concerned about that. But with Keith, it's just like, listen, if there's not a game plan in position to roll him out the way that he deserves, then it doesn't make any sense, because now you have so many other you have so many other big men that you haven't really done nothing with. So now it's like you get another big guy.
What big man?
Wardlow.
They did nothing with Brian Cage. They did nothing with Wardlow. They did nothing with Hobbs.
Hobbs. Yep.
Yeah, they got big men.
Archer.
You just forget about them.
Yeah.
Thank you, Janelle.
But that's my point, though. My point is, like, you get this big pop and reaction, like, oh my God, he's all elite. But then next week, what's the thing? And then the next week, what's the thing? And then the next week, what's the thing? So it's like you debuting him against Isaiah Cat. What the fuck was that about? Like,
nah, the shit was fire though. The shit was fire.
Listen, on a personal note, I'm glad if he can get that little bit of a rub, because it seems like they realize, like, that is out of the two, because everyone knows in the tag team there's always that one breakout. He's the breakout of the two, and that's just. So it's interesting that they've gone this route, but it's just like, all right, he's done what he did this week, debuted. Then are we gonna start putting the cards together, because their pay-per-view is in a matter of less than 3 weeks away.
It is?
Yeah. Evolution is that first weekend in March.
Wow.
It is actually.
You have your first big pay-per-view of 2022, and you're 3 weeks away, and yet you're giving away the title match with Lance and him on free TV. You debut Keith Lee on TV, which could have been a save for a pay-per-view. But that's it. Once again, not my company, not my problem. But as a fan, it's just like I want it to make sense for him. Like I'm glad he's get a check, boo, get your money, be appreciated, be able to still do the things you love to do. But let's make it make sense. Don't be another just big man in this company and not do nothing.
Right, but the one thing that I don't like what wrestling fans complain about is you're giving away on free TV. At the end of the day, you still got to, like, the networks are still paying them good money. And to attract people to your products, you cannot, like, you have to have a big film match. Because everyone does it. Even on weekly shows, you're gonna have a big guest come back. You know, always reference Girl Meets World. You know, the reboot of it, right? It was an episode when Sean came back. It was hyped. It was advertised. Do you could I give it on free TV? No, you give it what the fans want. That's how you get them to tune in every single week. People always use that terminology, but WWE used to just have a bunch of jobbers on Raw and only prepare for the pay-per-view. WWE said, "Now we can't do that. We gotta compete. This is how big matches give away on television." Yeah. WCW started that.
But WCW's issue when they did that is that, and if you go back and watch like 96, 97, that's my prime with WCW. They literally did the same thing that WWE did in the Ruthless Aggression era. They had like 6 niggas on the top, and that's all who got played. That's all the people that got story time. That's all the people that got interview time. That was it. Anyone else that got any type of like TV time was just on some like either in the first hour because it was cruiserweight hour, or they got somewhere in the middle, but they never main evented. Like the same guys, they rolled. It was like Rolodex of the same niggas. So the thing where my issue with, for example, to be honest, CM Punk and MJF shouldn't have been on regular TV.
Come on.
The fact that you had a 45-minute time, you have 45 minutes left of the show. This was your main event show. You did at least 8 commercials that as a fan, if I'm watching, it's like playing double dutch. If that was on a pay-per-view with no commercials and no nothing, and you saw the match in its entirety, you have a better appreciation of the storytelling of the entire match versus you seeing pockets of it throughout 45 minutes of the remaining of the show.
The problem, Janelle, with that match was CM Punk can't go 45 minutes.
No, I get that point.
That's the real one. And we all know that.
We know that.
So cool.
But then my thing is, then if you know that, then why do
it? Listen.
That's true.
Granted, look at William. William can't go no more than maybe 8 minutes.
That's
one match where he's gone longer than 8 minutes.
The Elimination Chamber.
Elimination
Chamber. At the end of the day, if you know my thing is, if you know the person.
He did, yeah.
Doesn't matter. But my thing is, you still in the match technically.
If you know the person's strengths and weaknesses, why do the thing that's their weakest point? Like, if you know Punk can't go past 10 minutes, why the fuck is we going 45 minutes for?
No, it's the thing is, it's Punk dictating the orders and producing the matches.
Yeah,
that's where you have the issue, where it's him producing the matches. But listen, Keith Lee, I saw it. I love the way he debuted it. It was a monster debut. It looked great. He looked great. He looked healthy. He looked happy. But we want more.
Yeah.
Coming out of it.
I don't want the Andrade effect.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was actually, as I was catching up to that point, I was seeing this segment and I'm like, like where are we going with Andrade with this? You know, you have him in the Hardy family office, and even with Aleister Black, like you see this. I mean, again, these guys who have come, they made a big deal out of them for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like they're just randomized now. It's like, oh, we don't know where we're going to put them. I was even asking about.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I was asking about Miro. I was asking my group chat like, "Hey, where's Miro? Where he at?" You know, we were like, last time we saw him, he was in an argument with God, I think, or something, and haven't seen him since. I was like, where is he?
Oh shit, that is a good point.
You see?
You didn't see him since Sammy beat him.
Wait. Out of everybody that's debuted, I think Miro has been the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's been the one with more opportunities. After like unfortunately when Kip Sabian got injured, that's really when the shit took off for
him. I agree.
But they always seem to, whenever they debut somebody, they always either put them with a whole group of other people, and you be like, "What the fuck going on?"
But that's just Japan, like that's the style that they do it. Yeah, that's just their style.
Which is granted, which is fine, but it's just to the average eye, you may be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Come on.
And that's the part where it's like,
you're right, but this is where I always say is, I've been saying this forever. Y'all so used to one style of wrestling, WWE. And a lot of people don't usually, not you, but like if you really talk to people who hate AEW, and you ask them, do you go to any events? No, I do not go to any events. Then you will never understand it. So there's always going to be a disconnect when it comes to AEW because a lot of people been doctored only like WWE. Even like before AEW, right? When New Japan was all the hype, a lot of people would say, "Oh, I don't know who Kenny Omega is because he's not on WWE." They stuck to that. So it's AEW just finding their footing in style because if you look at Impact, Impact does what they do with wrestling. Some people might think that Impact is trash because they don't do it a certain style like they like it. So it's all about it's many different ways just to present pro wrestling. AEW is doing it. Does it come up a little confusing? Yes. Do I think Tony Khan needs somebody who's better at putting stories together? Yes, he does. But we wasn't there for the beginning for WWE. So WWE probably had the same exact problems that AEW has. It just takes time. That's it.
I can see that. Time. It's funny though because I feel like sometimes with them we've heard that for a while. Because they've been in a couple years now, and I know for a while it was like, all right, let's give it time. But now it's like they've been around for a little minute where you got a lot of people. And it's like, all of a sudden the first gen of people was like slowly, quietly kind of pushed out to the darks, the elevations, and you're like
Jay Lethal.
Oh yeah, Jay Lethal, man. That was a fire match with Ricky Starks. I'm not gonna lie, that ending was epic, But it does make you say like he pops up, big deal.
Jay Lethal.
Look at saying that. It's crazy, man. It's a lot to process. Jade Cargill. I mean. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. Some people question, did she get that TBS title because of what happened with Big Swole and Tony Khan all of a sudden? But honestly,
that's the funny part. I didn't think that. I didn't feel that.
Yeah, that was always the plan.
Yeah,
but the
I
thing
agree.
Is, though, it's just low key. Sometimes it's hard to subscribe to what she's saying and what she's giving. Like just for me as the fan watching, like it's like yes, I want to root for her not only because she's a woman, but she's a woman of color. And she's gonna get better in the ring as time goes on, and blah blah blah, all that. You want all of that stuff.
You do.
But just the actual character, it is very hard for me to subscribe to. I'm not gonna hold you. Like it's just not. I don't know what it is. It doesn't like. I think she's. I can't put my finger on it, but it's just like I want to support sis. But I can't subscribe to the character entirely yet, and I just be like,
So
I don't know.
I like that.
I mean, like, no. I was gonna say that Janelle, she just started wrestling like yesterday.
But my issue isn't so much the wrestling. But my issue isn't her being green because she's actually flipped it where she's like green is money because she's heard everybody call her green. That part I actually love that she did that. But the actual
it's the fact that but it's going to take time for her to really mold that character. Yes, there are people who get it automatically. Cool. But these other people take some time to really develop their character. Even with Brock got He got literally launched to the moon. His character then and now, it took a while. Jade is just lucky that she got a lot of good people around her to push her.
Well, you
So it's like,
can't compare Brock's trajectory to hers.
yes, you can, because like it's basically
Yeah.
telling you that yes, you can, because Brock
Hearing
now
someone
is a
who
different
actually
breed. You're not
comparing
listening,
it to
Janelle. All
it
you
being
hear,
now.
no, all you hearing is Brock and her. Listen to how I'm doing the
What?
metaphor. The metaphor is this: when Brock first came, yes, he got automatic with certain stuff he didn't get. Like for example, this is why that he quit the business because he couldn't handle the grind. Jade, give her time because she just started wrestling. That's why.
Mm,
So a character is not always going to mesh well. Give her
mm,
time. I bet you guarantee 2 years from now, this whole I'm that bitch will be totally different. Guaranteed. You got to take
mm.
people time to develop. Let people develop. Let them. And
But see,
understanding
my
that
issue,
she's not,
my thing with
but listen to know, she's not developing on some like, I can lose match, like a Dominic development. She is like, we're putting the strap on your back and you're
Mhm.
one of these women in the pillar. So
Yeah.
there's no room for her to look bad. So she's not allowed, like, this is why she's not allowed to make mistakes. So you're not
Mm,
always going to feel her character, but I
mhm.
guarantee it. You can tell she's putting more and more work in it because she's
Come on.
getting more believable. She's doing all the little stuff.
Come on.
Give her time.
Ah,
I think that's one of the problems in wrestling nowadays in
mhm,
general. Right, when you
Mm-hmm.
talk about WWE, AEW, is new people
mhm,
don't develop because everything
mm.
is such quick turnaround,
Yes.
and everything like it's weird because we don't get that burn that we need to see. The
Mm,
last time I saw a good burn and a good buildup of a character
mm.
was Bianca Belair,
I was about to say that, yeah.
I was just
and
about
I
to
and
bring
I
it up.
and I and I've spoken about it on the podcast before where I didn't think Bianca was that great. I've told them numerous times. I thought she wasn't there yet because she was
Mm,
of the time she was in NXT when there was a match that I always talk about. It was Mia Yim, Lacey Evans, Bianca Belair.
I
I
remember that
think
match.
two other people. It was a big match on NXT Takeover, like leading up to NXT Takeover.
mhm,
I think like a week later or 2 weeks later, like pardon me, Lacey Evans gets called up, and I think Sam Roberts said some wild shit about Bianca Belair, and it just came off racist.
mhm.
And but his thing was he misspoke where he was saying she wasn't ready yet, just yet, and she wasn't. But you constantly saw a slow burn of her character, of her
Yeah.
in-work ability, and her mic skills. A lot of times now is like they put people in these things, and it's like, yo, off to the races. You might fall
Mm-hmm.
on your face a couple times, but
Mm-hmm.
we're just gonna put you in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And with Jade, that my brother and Janelle are kind of debating about, Jade has everything,
Mhm.
but she's not protected enough because she gets exposed too much on national
Mm-hmm.
TV,
Mhm.
especially to us more hardcore fans.
Mm. Come on.
I don't know. I've seen it a couple of times. She's getting exposed, and that's it's a beauty behind that madness sometimes because
Mm-hmm.
it helps her grow, but
Mhm.
sometimes like protect her, if
Mm.
you know what I mean. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think she's
Straight up.
protected enough where she could grow even more. But that's
But
just one piece.
I was gonna add on this too is we see too much of how the hot dogs being made because
Mm.
yes, we saw Brock come out the woodworks and go crazy that first year, but
Mhm.
forget he had time to develop in OVW. But with us, the fact that a lot of us watch NXT, we say, "Oh, they killing in NXT, they got to go on the main roster automatically." But not understanding that there's different politics behind. There's different policies that have to abide. A culture adjustment. It just takes a while. So what Jade is, she look how she debuted. Shaq on TV. You understand? Because she didn't have much time to redevelop. And now, what if like she didn't have that Shaq match? She wasn't a Nightmare Family. She was putting the work in. Good. And now people like, okay, she comes out a year. Let's say she put a year in work. She come out year in. She on top. You like, okay, she's fine. She's more developed. It's like I always say, like I said mentioned earlier. Even reference the Bible. Like you gotta have deeper roots in your things that you do. And so her developing, she's developing that deep root to like have that her foundation is untouchable. Because you see that she's building her foundation. You see her time is getting better. You see this play by play as like my brother said, as the screen going on. If you just watching it as like a fan, a casual fan, you're not gonna see as much errors that we see because we watch too much wrestling. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because if you go to your mother and show her Jade, she'll go, ooh, who's that strong woman? She's money automatically. If you go to one of these, like, a girl who don't watch wrestling, they see her, oh, shorty's strong. Okay. Ooh, extra nice body. She give off that Meg with muscles type of look. Automatically, she probably say, all right, sir. But to us, we're more, nah. We don't see that. They're so critical. Oh my God, her northern light was slightly off to the left. Come on, let's be serious.
But I think Janelle means more. I think Janelle means more. She doesn't connect with her personal.
That's what I thank you. Because that's what I was trying to
I can see that. I can see that.
Because it's not so much for me, it's not so much the in-ring. I know the in-ring is gonna come when it comes. I'm not worried about that.
No. But like I was not
for
the
me,
fact that
it's
Janelle,
like
let
you
her time
sitting here
develop.
saying, but you it's not believable to me. And I get the whole it taking time to build and it's a cooker and all this, but like actual emotions, like that's the thing with wrestling. Wrestling is supposed to invoke emotion to you. Like when I see Undertaker, I'm looking at Mark Calloway like
yeah.
Like when you wrestling evokes emotion. That's anything that you care about, whether it's music's the same way. If you watch sports and that's a fanatic of your if you're a fan of that is you're gonna have that emotion to it. For me, when I look at her as of right now, currently, not to say it won't change, not to say that it won't progress, but as of right now, when I look and I watch her being TBS champion, there's no emotion for me. There's no connection for me yet. And that's where it's hard for me because I want it. It's like when you're a child and your favorite piece of candy is about to be re-released. Like it hasn't been around in years. And you're like, I want this so bad. Or Christmas, I want this toy so bad. When you get it, you're like, is this really what I wanted? Is this really what it's all coked up to be?
All right.
So, like, just for me as the fan, like, it has nothing to do with her in-ring. All that stuff is going to grow and it's going to progress, and that's fine. The character-wise, because you sitting here saying, I'm not bitch, but then yet you win the title and you with your child. There's a level of confusion there for me for 2.5 seconds.
Now you see. I'm gonna say this. Like we've been here for 3 years, right? I'm taking you as an example. The confidence you have now was not there when we first started, and a lot of people say that. If you watch episode 1 until now, they say Janelle didn't connect with me, but now Janelle really does connect with me because she owned her position. She knows what she's doing. She really own it. So you saying that, oh, she raised a kid, whatever. To me, I seen that, yo, she's developing her character. So now when she go on an interview to say, oh, you saw a kid, yeah, I want to see my kid that I'm doing this. She connects to the mothers.
That's fine.
Let me finish though. So I'm gonna use that example because a lot of people told me in the beginning that didn't connect with you at first. Because Janelle was still trying to figure out, I was like, yeah, I get it. But now, like I said earlier, you became that bitch, nigga. understanding that you're part owner of a company. You have that to your name, son. At first, you didn't have that. So you have different swag, Janelle, when you first entered until now. I'm
Mhm.
seeing from a standpoint of people telling me and how I see them. So this is why I said that give her the same that grace that people gave you. It takes
And I'm
time to
not.
be in a
I never said I
position.
wouldn't.
Right, but it takes time to be in a position where everybody's criticizing you, everything you
Come on,
do. You're not perfect enough. You're not doing this right. This, that, and
come on,
third. Oh my God, you should
Difference
stand there. You're
though.
like, yo, give me time.
come
That's
on.
what I'm telling
Only thing
people.
though is that, granted, from the beginning to now, we're all very different. We all bring different things to the table. But
I'm gonna
Mhm.
once
say
again,
nigga B.
that was a
I'm gonna
that was,
say
I
nigga
mean,
B.
our foundation is the same. Like we are, like who we are as people is the same. Like,
Come on.
but the
Okay.
different things we're doing in wrestling has changed and altered, and that's fine.
I
But
dig that.
the thing is, though, is I'm not negating what you're saying. And like I said before, I didn't say that how I feel now is how I'm going to feel down the road either. What my only when we were talking about was currently, like today, like
Mhm.
promo today. That's what I'm talking about.
But
Not
Mm.
promo
question,
from 3 years from now.
Derek, this is your show. What's your next question? Because
Yeah.
niggas is taking over again.
We just enjoying it like, man.
And
I'm
we
just
are
man. Listen,
tomorrow.
when you in the presence of greatness, you know what I'm saying. You sit back, you chill, you
Thank
listen.
you.
You know what I mean. But
We
real
can
talk,
talk all
man.
day.
We can
So
talk all
keep us
day.
we
on point.
we could.
I dig it. No, I dig it. Shout out to Sir Wilkins, man. Honestly, that was a good transition though. While we're talking about the subject of characters, while we're talking about comparing wrestlers in this tournament, keeping the subject and keeping it all black intended, you know, for Black History. Let's get into this and let me ask you guys, what does it mean right now to be black in pro wrestling? Like, given what black wrestlers have gone through over the years from the start to now and the evolution of the black wrestling, like, what does it mean today to be a black pro wrestler?
It's like playing GTA.
Ooh, okay. Explain, sir.
So it's like playing
Stars you got
GTA.
today. How
Huh?
many stars you got today?
How many what? How many
Stars
stars?
you got today? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's
You don't
like,
start with 2 stars. You know, 2 stars. You know that.
yeah,
Come
so
on.
it's like you're trying to get 5 stars, which you might get shot at, but it's actually kind of fun.
Okay.
And
So
problematic as fuck.
you got problematic shit like hookers, street gangsters, and a bunch of shit that's trying to kill you, aka social media,
Okay. Okay.
and the ICW and the IWC. And then you got your missions that
Mhm.
we deal with the white promoters and that know nothing about you. But then you really want to finish the mission because it's a job.
Okay. Okay.
But the game is on super hard mode because you're black.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it's
So
like
if you're
playing
white,
GTA.
I like that
Okay.
because your white counterparts start out with all the guns. You start out with the pistol.
Yeah.
Unless you got the cheat
So
code, right?
They don't give
Yeah.
us a cheat code. White people got it automatically.
we don't have a cheat code. We're
They
gonna
got
go
the cheat
that
code.
route.
But the thing is, it's like one of the greatest gifts and curses in professional wrestling has been the internet and social media.
Mm.
And being a black wrestling fan, you get to meet other black wrestling fans a lot easier now. Like, for instance, we're on this podcast right now talking to you, and we're all cut from the same kind of cloth of like being a black wrestling fan. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We're
Yeah.
having this conversation, we're connecting, we're getting to know each other. But
Yeah.
how did this happen? You found us through social media, and
True.
that's how we found other people
Mhm.
to be fans.
Mhm.
Like, for instance, we're sponsoring a show that Janelle's going to in like this weekend.
Mhm.
All black show. How did
Mm.
we find out about it? Social media. Shout out to Kiki because she posted about it. She's one of the people that's going
She's
to be
doing commentary for the
doing
show.
commentary down there. But it's like we find it through social media, and then being a wrestler
Mhm.
has helped because you're getting more support through social media. Like,
Mhm.
for instance, Faye's trial that she did on Twitter. I talk about it all the time. it was trending around the world. Swole's Twitter trial was trending around the world because of social media, people supporting, like, you know what I mean? And there's this, it's like this weird dichotomy right now. Like, social media fucking sucks because you have like these racist IWC people who say fucked up shit, but then you have support, beautiful support on the other side of it. So it is like it's fun. It's you're driving through, you're driving through your favorite music, and you might get, but then you might get shot at by some random social media post saying that you trash in the ring and that they hate black wrestlers or something like that. But but then you get your health up because another social media post is just making you feel good about yourself, and you get through a mission, and you get a title. Like, we saw back-to-back champions that were black.
Come on, talk about it.
Yeah.
And you know, I have my issues with Big E's, you know, fall from grace.
Come on, talk about it. He got Kofi. Go ahead, talk about it. Talk about it, bro.
He did better than Kofi, though. He did better than
Kofi, but he was definitely a transitional champion. But the one thing we did get out of it, it's kind of like it's this double-edged sword where we saw Big E's like fall from grace, but then we got Bobby Lashley, a two-time WWE.
Saying it, listen, I could tell y'all, like, people even from when I went to WrestleMania, the pop Bobby got when he came out, I was surprised. I was like, whoa. And then fast forward to Royal Rumble again, where he's facing Brock Lesnar, and Brock got a pop, because we all pop for Brock any time of the day.
Oh, yeah.
But the pop Bobby got too, I was just like, we are, as fans in this building, are confused. Like, we don't know who we want to win at this point.
Who do we want to win? Exactly.
And in all honesty, and being there, I don't see it played out any other way.
How was when Bobby won? Like, how's the pop?
It was crazy. Like, you could have passed out. Like, when I tell you, it's something different. And like I said, wrestling evokes emotion. And when you're behind someone emotionally, that's a different type of vibe. That's a different type of feeling where you're like, oh my God. Like, think about it. Like, I always low-key think about this. When we interviewed D-Lo, we went from interviewing D-Lo to then meeting him. We all met him at the same. Well, I met him before, but we all met him all together. That's a different type of feel.
Come on. Where
like we had like casual conversations with him and laughed with him and chopped it up. Like, that for me is what's different about wrestling now, especially for us as whether Black media, whether it's Black wrestlers. Like, we find support within each other, and it's a different type of level. Like, it's not your average support where you're just like, well, I'm gonna buy a t-shirt and call it a day. No, I'm gonna actually have conversations with these individuals, and I'm going to help them get to a certain place that they wish to be. There's friends we've had that, you know, are on the indies right now. And for instance, Jobber Slam. We're very good friends with 2 of 3. Well, we're friends with all of them, but 2 out of the 3 are prolific. We've seen them from the beginning of their career. Like, when they first started training, like, we all became friends, and seeing their struggle and see their upcoming. And when we were putting together Jobber Slam, even before the pandemic, we just straight up asked them. I said, who would y'all like to wrestle? Who is it that y'all would want to, as a 3-person team, who would y'all want to go out there? When they said Shane Taylor Promotions, I said, say less.
Who? Come on.
I said, say less. And I said, okay. Say less. Boom. And then fast forward to us then building our relationship with Shane Taylor and Shane Taylor Promotions, to then now when Jobber Sam came around, it was like this was the match, and there was no other match for them. Because this is, you know, they expressed that's what they want. And I think that's the different level of support that we're in right now, where if the opportunity presents itself and we know we can do it, let's just do it ourselves. Like that was
Yeah.
always our thing when we decided to do a wrestling show. Like for me, a little girl watching wrestling at 6, I would have never imagined fast forward almost 25 years later doing a wrestling show, a predominantly all black wrestling show at that. There was nothing you could have told me 10 years ago that was going to happen. So like for us, it's just a different level of like, if they're not going to give us the opportunity, we're going to make it ourselves. And I think that's what makes it such a unique time in wrestling right now, because you have certain players involved where they can make that happen. And if not, they're going to find somebody that's going to make it happen. So like us sponsoring shows has been probably the number one thing that's helped us across the board, because we've not only built relationship with the promotion, we built relationship with the actual wrestlers, we built relationship with the referees. Like it's just so many different
Shout out to
things where
Nick.
it makes like our favorite referee, Nick Shin. But it's been able for us to then cultivate this community that we've had, whether, and it doesn't matter where we're from. It's always like when we all link, everybody know what time it is. And that's just that's the beauty. I think being a black wrestling fan right now, it's like you're not pushed away. You're like, no, come here. Let's all hold each other up. Because if they're not gonna do it, let's do it ourselves. So I think that's always been, I think for us, always been the let's make this platform and let's build it.
I love it.
I guess for me, what it means to be black in wrestling is building a foundation of having a place that people could be themselves in the blacks in the whole black wrestling, and showing the world that there's many different kind of blacks instead of the one you see on television. We're not the stereotype that the palm colored people presented to us. We're beyond that, meaning that there may be a guy at the wrestling event that who's wearing a suit, who's the guy that who's the player, but yet he loves wrestling. Right, and like right next to him is the guy that who may be the nerdiest, but yet they're the best of friends because they have common issues in wrestling. You know, it's bringing the people that who don't have that self love, the people who have the self love, to show each other that I could do this too. You understand? And for us, for me, is showing our community that anything is possible if you just put your mind to it. Only thing stopping you is you. Only thing you fight against every morning is you. Only person you have to be better than is you. And I always want to encourage everybody, especially as black people, that you got this. And don't use the whole ideology that the white man gotta save me, wait to just save yourself. Because you just gotta put the work in. You know, we got so many different people. Look at look at some of the people we know. Stan, that he's independent wrestling. Oh, he's independent wrestling. Like Marquise Marquis went to school with my brother. You understand? Like they went to school together. So to see him, they're like, oh wow, he actually put a work in to put his dream forth. And for us having this podcast, we give a platform for everybody to eat. Because in on this podcast game, this audio, this media, everybody eats. But people don't understand that because they want to bring the dog eat dog mentality into this world, but not realizing that, you don't have to listen to this podcast day come out. You can listen to any time when you want to. Everyone eats. And one thing I want to create is a safe space where we have for more wrestlers to come on and talk to us. The one thing that I always do is when I talk to wrestlers, I'll always ask, fuck the wrestling. How you doing mentally? Because if you're not here up here, how can you perform effective in the ring? Because my brother said, you have someone else's life in your hands. So this is why we tell a lot of fans and go to side. I know it's just like wrestlers may have issues, but they still have to work together. This is why they have to spot the heat real quick, because if you do something out of spite, that little slight move, you could kill me. So bring back one thing together is this is why that I take pride of cultivating help cultivate a community where not just us black people come in there, people just all walks of life. You understand? And if you even look at my crew, like if you look at what I was saying earlier, what we represent is many different types of blocks. I'm that dude that love hood stuff, smoking weed, but at the same exact time, I'm talking about God. My brother into fitness or whatever, but yet in the same sentence, he's talking about anime. Yo, you saw Tight on Tackins, da da da. Janelle, she's the type that she may talk about all these girly stuff, whatever, but yeah, she giving you
I don't
football
talk
tips how
about
to
girly
win.
stuff.
Let me finish, Janelle.
Go ahead.
Like Janelle may be talking about brunch, all these damn girly stuff. Like, I don't want to hear this, but at the same exact token, she could teach you how to win a fantasy football. This is why we are the first time tag team champions of the mixed tag. Where's our fucking belts? Not the point. But understanding that this is what I'm trying to say is, you see how that we just not one dimensional. We want to show the black community that it's okay to be multi-dimensional. Lay yourself up that makes you for you. Whatever you into, you define it because that's you. So this is what the message I love to preach about: the sense of unity, a sense of freedom, enlightenment. Is if you could dream it, you could do it.
Come on, bro.
Simple. We're a bunch of kids that who had a dream and it came true, and we basically helped. Shout out to my brother, the oracle of this, the brainchild of this, the quarterback. Yo, if he does not throw the ball, I can't run it. I mean, if he doesn't pass the ball, I can't run it. If he does not throw the ball to Janelle, how can Janelle catch it? And if I'm not blocking, how can Janelle score a touchdown? If Janelle is not cutting the man when I come off that corner, how can I score?
Come on.
Even if I may not score in that drive, we're going to get some kind of yardage.
Come on.
That's how we operate.
I love it, man. Sir Wilkins, you got anything you want to add real quick, bro?
I think they said everything.
Said everything good. Look at that. So smooth, man. This guy's just so smooth. You gotta love it, man. Look at, he's like, yo, no, they said everything that I need to say. I love how you guys answered those questions. I will add to what you guys were just saying real quick. I do remember listening to an episode on you guys' show one time when you, Mr. Black, when you talked about different types of black. Like, I remember, and I can't remember if you made this comparison or if Sir Wilkins did, but I remember y'all had a discussion when y'all were talking about the diversity of Naomi, Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, and y'all were talking about like the different versions of black that they represent, and how you guys were talking about like
that's a throwback.
Throwback, right?
Wow.
But that's stuck, that's stuck because it was one of those things you didn't really think about until you really sat back and realized like all three of these women do give you a different type of black in a way where you don't really even think about that. Like how it's just like, Naomi's kind of like that girl. You could tell she like probably listens to the lo-fi, be out there the partying, comes out with the glow, Sasha give you that attitude, you know what I'm saying? It's just like representing that girl from the block a little bit, and Bianca like, hey, nah, girl, hold on, what's that all about? Giving you the flashiness and like it's just cool how everybody represents something different and shows that you could be whatever you want to be, however you want to be it. And so all of that is just really dope to say. I love those answers you guys gave. And it's a good transition because now I want to know who inspired you guys? Who were some of your personal black inspirations in wrestling?
The Rock.
Oh, God.
Off top. Okay.
It's not off top. That's the only answer he's gonna give you.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
That's it. He's gonna say The Rock. That's it. Janelle, go ahead.
What? He always.
No. I got this, dog. I got this big dog. I said for me, I got in wrestling. I got wrestling and outside wrestling. It's for me one of my biggest inspiration. I met him and interviewed with him. This is why. This is why life and death is the power of the tongue. You spoke it and it happened. Jim Johnson's coming to the show very soon. I'm saying it right now. It's going to happen. So D'Lo Brown, because D'Lo Brown tell me that, yo, I just like his style, man. Like if he was wrestling in the Roots Regression era when he came up, he would have been WWE champion, competing for that. This man was the definition of no matter where you are in the card, you always make your moments matter. Him going to the ring, head bopping, whatever. Come on, that stands out to this day because it's just you taking your moment. So this is why I love dealing with and outside of wrestling is Charlemagne. Charlemagne taught me that, yo, always be yourself regardless. And always be yourself. Don't let anyone tell you anything differently. And as long as you're doing it out of pure heart, you got this. And never be afraid to evolve as a person, but don't lose yourself. And don't become a character of yourself. Like, I had to learn that Mr. Black is just not a character. Mr. Black is me. I learned that from Charlemagne.
Come on. Okay. I love it. I love it.
Inspiration. I mean,
Macho Man.
Freaking fact, right? But Macho's an adopted black. But
come on, adopted black.
I
We'll
mean,
accept it.
Outside of, we ain't got no choice. Okay, he dropped a whole diss track on Hogan. So
yeah.
True.
Man, Hogan. That song is fire.
Who else is doing that? No, because he said that's Macho my favorite.
Fire.
Big facts.
Outside of wrestling, honestly,
Oprah.
It is though.
Mommy.
No. First of all, freaking Frack down here on the podcast level has inspired me because you dummies. You and your brother.
Selena.
I say that because whenever I think we were at that point of like, this is it, always came to like, we're in this together. As much as, and I'll tell you, we talked about it on our 200th episode. There's a hole in the wall at our first studio. There's a testament of all of the trials and tribulations that we've gone through. But no, just all of us growing as individuals, all of us growing in wrestling, and seeing the growth and being a part of it. They're probably just as much as an inspiration to that than anybody in wrestling, because we're in this together. And I'm forever thankful of it, actually, because it was a oops. It actually
it was.
Wilkins actually, he posted, I'll never forget it, he posted on Facebook, he was like, is there any females that want to talk about wrestling? I messaged this nigga like, you have the audacity to post that and not ask me? Are you kidding me? But to his take though, I can be a bit busy. So he was trying to be considerate as my best friend.
Yeah.
But then I took it as like, nigga, I'm right here.
Come on.
And with Mr. Black, it was a complete like oops thing that happened that we spoke about off camera. That we've spoken about before.
Yeah.
But
she does mess up. She never did that, man. She never went on vacation.
There's no one else, like, I'm not on the show or one of them's not on the show. The vibe isn't the same. So that's how we know that the three of us, that's just what it is. Not to say that no one, like anyone else that's come on and done the show, that it's not great, but it's just, for us, it's just us. Like, only the three of us understand certain things that really no one else will. But one, actually, because you sent me kind of the rundown, one person I do want to acknowledge that doesn't get acknowledged as much actually is Norman Smiley. And I say that because growing up, I was a heavy, like, I love WCW. Up until like about the 99 and the 2000s, there was really nothing outside of NWO dumb shit all the time. But WCW was always entertaining to me. And as silly as Norman Smiley as fucking shucking and jiving down that fucking ramp, just to know the career of what he's been through and to where he's, he started off, once again, in-ring wrestler, one of a really good technical wrestler at that, to where he is now, where he's doing more training, he's doing more behind the scenes, he's doing more producing. Like, those are the things that you appreciate because you basically are giving back to what gave to you. Yeah. And he doesn't get talked about as much as he probably should. Because, I mean, when you look back at that time, you always think it's just a bunch of dumb shit. Because, like, him, Ernest the Cat, Miller, like, low-key, they was out here promoting.
Yes.
And really giving it their all. And not for nothing, they were probably one of the few black men on WCW outside of Harlem Heat.
Yeah.
So, that is true.
That is true.
Virgil.
That's a great take.
Because that was in WCW at that time. And half of it was Harlem Heat. So at the end of the day,
I love
but
that.
no, I wanted
And
to
Big
bring up
T, don't
Norman's
forget him. Big T.
ice train, all type of shit. But
Come
anyway,
on.
but
Dang,
Norman
that was a
Smiley
racist
doesn't
name.
get.
Dang.
Are we gonna
Big
throw
T.
we throwing Dennis Rodman in there by any chance since he was a
No,
part of
we are not, and
WCW?
you know damn well we not doing that. Just like we not throwing in Karl Malone ass, we not doing that.
Nah, that match was fire. That match was fire.
I
That
know,
match
come
was
That
on.
match
fire.
was
For
fire.
for the
That match was
celebrity
fire.
levelness of wrestling, yeah, there was great
Oh,
storytelling. Hands
Yeah.
great.
I
down,
mean,
one of the
the
best
best,
build-ups they had.
Yeah.
yes,
Time.
and
Yeah.
the best
Because it was
celebrity wrestler of
believable
all
because
time.
then they went on Jay Leno and fucked shit up. Like it was a lot. Like Eric Bischoff gave it his all on that one. I will
Man.
say.
He
And that
did.
was the end.
But I had to when you gave me that question earlier, I had to think about it, and I said
Come
no.
on.
I'm gonna mention Norman Smiley because nobody mentions him, and I definitely think he's definitely a great person, an asset in wrestling, and that represents us.
I love it.
So I had to just give him his. I had to give him his flowers real quick because I was like, listen.
Yo, I'm so glad you did that too, because the funny thing was, again, shout out to my bro Daryl Shaw. Like on the episode I did with
Lord.
him, no lie, I literally said the same thing because it just hit me, and I was like, I feel like nobody talks about Norman much. So we on the same accord with that because I was like, dog,
Yeah,
they don't talk about
they
him
don't.
like that. So shout out to Norman
I mean,
Smiley, man.
also to we can go down the list too, but I mean also to MVP, like
Oh,
now then forever, low key.
Come on.
MVP had a great
Octavius
career.
Porter.
Be honest, do y'all think we need him to represent more like how Paul Heyman's been doing? Do y'all think going forth we need him to represent some more black talent?
Of course.
yes, but I feel like WWE kind of capped him because it was money left on the table between him and Paul Heyman. They left too much money on the table with that one.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, but they got to give him the same way that they give him, or the same leadway that they give to Paul Heyman for it to really work.
I agree.
I think I think he still has the itch to get in the ring too, and sometimes that kind of like gives that seesaw feeling of like, okay, are you just gonna manage? Are you gonna do both? Or like, what are you doing? I mean, I ultimately would love. Listen, if somewhere down the road they decided to hurt business one more time, I'm here for it.
Thank you.
You want to throw a female in that because I'm all about that.
Yes.
Do it. Go for it.
Yes.
But the hurt business definitely. That's why everybody's like, "Oh, it's over. It's over." Like,
oh my
there's
gosh,
some unfinished
Janelle,
business
man,
there.
you do this every week, Janelle. They're not coming back.
On top of talking to one of the members personally. I think there's a lot left on the table that not everybody is privy to.
Come on.
Is all I'm going to say.
Hey,
and I will leave it at that.
Sir Wilkins, you said it best. I mean, you were one of the first to break that story before that was really coming about with the whole breakup situation. Because you, again, coffee talk with Sir Wilkins, man. You literally broke that down to a T of why you shouldn't break them up so soon. And somehow, I know somebody had to listen to you out there for them to still do it, but like try to tease it and bring it back a little later the way they did. Like
still
somebody
teasing
heard
it.
Still teasing it. Exactly. Like
somebody be listening. We know that. We always said that. It's certain things we've said that the next week we was like, did that happen?
Yeah. Oh,
it happens all the time.
That is true. That is true. Like
it happens all the time.
You know they got spies out there that listen to us because I feel like there's some things I've said on the show before that migrated their way on the creators. I feel like they got their spies out there listening to us.
They make sure that they have people there listening because they want to listen, have their ears to the streets. They don't want to be oblivious to what's going on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, totally. It's just one of those things, man. But I totally agree, man. We do need some form of the hurt business back or something. You know, we those black factions, man. There's nothing like them, man. You got Nation of Domination, you got Hurt Business, Team Bad. You know, it just
Team Bad was trash. Like Team
what?
Bad, like didn't have gold. to like solidify you as a great faction, you need to acquire gold.
I think
like
it was
saying-
before. I think it was before its time. Like looking back,
It was.
like
there you
like
go.
in all
There you go.
honesty. So one thing I noticed from NXT, and it's an appreciation that I have that I didn't realize until last night, was that not for nothing, Toxic Attraction is the only female stable in WWE. Let that sit there for a second. If let's say they ever thought to do like a remix of Team Bad, it would have to currently right now in WWE. Toxic Attraction is the only female stable in the company. If they thought and was, I don't want to say smart, but if they thought about doing a female, a Team Bad but NXT level to go against them, that's dollar bills. Dollar bills. I'm gonna say. But I had when I noticed the match that Mandy Rose, and I love how they just low key just redid Mandy shit, but that's another story for a different day.
Yeah.
But just the whole like the stable looking out for each other, helping her win, and then EO coming out. But it was just like if they had another all female stable to go against this female stable, like how they had Era. They had a female Undisputed Era version, or just something of that nature. Like it's a game changer, and whoever decides to do it first is going to change low key the landscape of how we look at women in wrestling.
And let them go to war. Like I'm talking about war. Like they fight backstage. It's just like, dang,
it's on-site beef.
It has to be on that level for it to work. When I'm talking about, they have to do extreme stuff. Like I want to see girls like on some like they fighting back on some. Bring back some DX skits where you lock one girl in the locker room. I mean, everyone wrestling them, and you just beat up on one up in the ring. Like they beat up on they beat up on China, son. Jesus Christ.
She was a one-woman faction though, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Got beat on by a bunch of men in the ring. Yo. I don't think that's problematic. That's good storytelling because to me, I see it as China's holding her own, son. And she was holding on for a minute, son. But you know, people gonna miss that whole mark. Oh, they beat her on, da-da-da. I don't know, but imagine on-site beef. Like, yo, they playing Twitch, they beat them up. Or like they chilling, walking their dog. They jump the dog into person. Oh my God. The nail salon you jumped them. The tanning bed. Yo. Brunch? They fighting at brunch? Come on, son. If I do
like APA?
Get braids? Come
like
on,
how APA
son.
used to come out and fuck people up?
Yeah.
Come on, son.
On some level like that. Yeah.
Janelle's right. If they're going to do this, it has to be very, like, it has to be a blood for you, B. The nail salon get her nails done, they jumping, though? Yo.
You know what?
Whoever's listening, just saying.
Dog, if they could find a way to get Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans over to WWE, they would be the perfect two candidates. And then you just add one more to that pie, and I feel like you good. You good. Because Tasha Steelz looks like she's ready now, man. She looks like she's ready for that WWE push now.
Listen, don't be surprised if she becomes Impact Champion.
Oh, I'm praying for it, man. What? Look, we already got a black Impact Champion on the men's side, so we get the black woman the title, man. Let's go. Let's go.
And this is why I be telling people about Impact. If you're really a wrestling fan, you're gonna watch Impact because Impact been putting on bangers.
Come on.
Forever. For people always make statement, oh, it's TNA, they didn't wax stuff. TNA at one point was AEW. The laughing stock. Now look, they created so much stars in the ring. They reinvented. Matt Hardy was able to reinvent himself. Really? Rich Swann became the first person to hold two different titles from two different companies. Impact and TNA Wrestling. Nobody talks about that. Nobody.
Because you know why.
He looked like me.
No. Because the TNA title was it's not recognized. You have to really realize Moose went into a fucking archive to grab that belt and said, "This is my title."
Oh, so when Kenny does it, they're recognizing, right? When the black man does it, they don't, right?
I don't recognize that shit. I'm just talking
I
about me
do.
because
I
y'all
do.
already knew I had issues with that shit from the beginning.
No,
I was like,
when I
that
see
shit is TNA, is not TNA no more.
It's not.
when I see my boy Rich Swan on Saturday at Hall, I'm gonna tell him that.
Come on.
I gotta tell my boy.
Come on.
Like I can't wait to meet him, dog. Like I met him for mad times, like mad times. Just know we have a lot of high times. Ha ha.
See what you did there. I see what you did there. I take it in. And shout out to you, Mr. Black. I've always, out of all the promotions, definitely, I've always like riding with Impact, man. You're always gonna love WWE. And like I said, I love what AEW is, but I don't know. I feel like Impact right now just has a nice little balance, despite who probably pays attention to it 100% and who doesn't. I do feel like they have, especially now, their characters, their talent. I still felt like they had the best women's division, even when NXT had the best women's division. I was rolling with Impact personally.
Impact has the second best women's division.
Impact is consistent with the women's division. Impact is very consistent with the women's division. That's what holds them above everybody else. Mm-hmm. Like everybody will go to these ebb and flows, but Impact is like steady when it comes to their women's division.
I agree. Totally agree. And shout out to even what they do with this digital media title they created. That was kind of different.
Fire.
To see the way Matt Cardona just came through and just pulled a heel move on Jordan Grace to take the title. I'm like, wow, this guy's really out here killing it in the indies and showing, hey, I'm a whole new person right now. So hey, more power to him. But definitely, guys, another thing, we're gonna take this on the music side of things because I know y'all some music heads, man. So we're gonna take this, and I want to ask y'all, man, right now, what would you say is your top five greatest Black wrestling themes?
Hey,
let me The Rock, with Method Man.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
Keith Lee's theme song before they changed to that bullshit.
I'm not gonna hold you. Bobby Lashley's theme song is a fucking bop. It's the fucking Jaws theme song, low key.
Come on.
And I'm just like, this shit is hard.
Yeah.
Ricky Starks. No, not Ricky Starks. Not Ricky Starks. Who else? Harlem Heat theme song. You can't knock that.
Come on. OG. Yes, sir.
Oh, Nation of Domination theme song. We are the nation of domination.
Then when they had the white nigga rapping them out, that's what got me in the beginning. I was like, what are we doing? What?
Yeah, that did
I understood why, but it was just like, what?
Yeah.
You know what it is though? Certain theme songs, like I said, wrestling invokes emotion. Mm-hmm. When I can physically tell you, hearing and being live to seeing Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair, and hearing both theme songs and both entrances like that.
Come on.
There's really nothing that kind of can top that. Like that, I just don't know how. Yes, Rocky coming out when I went to Mania in Dallas when he had the rock sign and he lit it on fire. That was hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess for me is that's easy. Number one is D'Lo Brown. Boy, imagine you in the club. Look at the real deal now. Catching like this. It's like this. Come on, B. Come on.
Derek. If I get charged because my phone died, I'm not buying my charger right now. So.
D'Lo Brown, Mark Henry, Hall of Fame. Someone gonna get their ass whooped. Come on, that's a bomb, son. That's a Street Profits. I love that, B. I love Street Profits.
Okay.
Some guys in indie, you have to look him up.
Darius Carter's theme song is pretty hard.
You forget about Ken Broadway's theme song?
Ken goes harder.
Come on.
Look at these two guys, Darius Carter and Ken Broadway. They're number for the title of the indies.
Come on.
The fourth one, you know what?
To
Let
us,
me give a
but
little bone to my nigga
our theme
Montini, the one
song,
that
our
the
theme
theme
song is pretty
song.
dope.
Yeah, our theme
Come on.
song.
That Jobber Tears theme do go hard, bro.
Yo, Montini, he made our theme song, Big Swole theme song, Sammy Guevara, and he's on the AEW Black History mixtape. So listen, he got bangers, B. So I gotta give my love to Montini, B. And don't forget the remix, B, with my son Joshua. Yo, listen, man. Yo, you guys are working, man. He ain't black though, but he good people. Shout out to Vlad, shout out to Vlad, like he good people though, son. He ain't black though, but yeah, shout him out though, son.
Real talk,
One more guy. Shout out to my T1 brother, Michael Bostic. My son got an R&B voice, B. Like you put it on, B.
Your friend is putting you over, and you can't hear it.
Come on, dropper. I got a little shout out, man. There's this up and coming artist out here, man. Did a song for a really dope black female, independent wrestler by the name of Trisha Dora. Your boy Highlight Reel, man. He coming pretty soon, man. He doing things. Got some stuff with the boy Josiah Williams coming, actually. We got a couple bangers in the bank. But, that's neither here nor there. That's for, future reference right there. But, that's just, little exclusive there. Hey, shout out to my Botch Maniacs. They know out there. But anyways, man, real talk, we know that Sir Wilkins' phone is literally about to die. So, in the meantime, I'm gonna I know, right? Thank you guys so much, man. I don't want to hold y'all up.
Thank you.
Hey, it's love. Y'all fam, man, and we love to have
It's rare that we're on the other side of the show. So it's always fun when we're able to just like talk and not have to worry about conducting ourselves a certain way.
Come on.
But
that's the truth.
Thank you for having us. And once again, we wish you nothing but the best. Anything you need, any help, or listen, we're all here to help each other. So you always let us know.
Likewise.
And you're always welcome to come out to New York for a viewing party or two.
Yes, definitely. Can't wait, man. I'm looking forward to coming up there to the NYC. Showing love with the Jobber Tears, popping over to everybody, because those watch parties look so epic. You know what I'm saying? Your boy gonna come in there, gonna come with the OG original belt, you know what I'm saying? 100, because the boy is a Life Box champion, custom made one time, man. So bring this, spread it with the peoples, and let them know what's up, baby. So, hey, that's how we do around here, man. That's how we do. But much love, real quick. Everybody, tell them where they can find and follow you guys all the time, because the Jobber Tears is literally everywhere, baby.
You can follow my personal page, _Mr. Black, drop the K, 2 C's. You can follow us on Instagram at Jobber Tears Podcast, and you also join our Facebook group, the Jobber Tears Podcast Facebook group. You can follow us on Twitter, the Jobber Tears, and please check out all other shows on the Jobber Tears Network. The Zone Talk, Your Sports, Mr. Black Sainthood, 2.5 Bro, season 2 is coming back. We got Nellie's Game Night that's coming back for season 2 very soon, though. So please check out what we have to offer, though, son. Because the Jobber Tears Podcast is more than a podcast; it's a network.
Come on, baby. Yes, sir.
That's a bar.
Rocks with it. I rocks with it. Y'all already know, man. Hey, Mr. Black said it best. Y'all already know. Make sure y'all follow all things Jobber Tears Podcast. Look out for a future Jobber Slam 2 coming to you soon, man. Because trust me,
August 2022, Jobber Slam 2.
Come on.
We'll release the date very soon, but I will say it will be in August because WWE beat us to the punch. Because they're doing SummerSlam the end of July. So that's why we had to move it to August. But it's okay. It'll give us more time.
Yeah.
Jobber Slam 2, August 2022. Those that any shows that once again you guys are at, you see us, come say hi. I'll be in Dallas this weekend. Next weekend, we'll all be in DC for Fight Club's show where they're main eventing Swole and Trisha Dora. So we'll be there for that. Just once again, support independent wrestling, support Black wrestling, support each other.
And that's it.
And that's it.
All
You
right.
already know. Speaking of supporting each other, also one last thing I gotta say. Speaking of Black History, gotta shout out Miss Janelle from HR, being a co-owner of a promotion. You know what I mean? That's Black history in its own right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We got to bow to the queen. I mean, you know, Charlotte be out here talking about queen this. Nah, we got a queen right here in front of us, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Literally letting people know what's up when you out here making the moves behind the scenes. So, and shout out to my Black Kings over here that's already promoting the brand. Got a network, letting them know what's up out in these streets and working these indie streets, man. So again, it's your boy Dwayne, aka the Highlight Reel, right here with the Life's a Botch podcast. And I just want to say thank y'all so much for tuning in. Until next week, same time, same place. Hey y'all, we out this thing. Let's go.
Later.